Hello and welcome back to G-senjou no Maou. Yes, I neglected it again because the newest video, before that video even, was already a few weeks again as a gap in between those videos, even though I loaded them up now in a certain pattern so that I try to get a day video. So even though this video comes up next, the video before that was already recorded, but I didn't uploaded it. Apologize for that. And yeah, I have a new game plan, more or less, how I will handle these. And yeah, basically it is, I want to stream on weekends, and I want to get recordings done on weekdays. So yeah, what I'm going to do is make a bunch of recordings, which I already said, and even on the last recording, I think if I remember correctly, I got a headache, so this recording was even shorter than the other ones. And hopefully this will not happen again, and if it happens again, I just drug myself with sweet painkillers in my head, because it's just bullshit that I get headaches for reading something beautiful. So, without further ado, let's start into this, and I even have a new voice, and the problem is, right now, I haven't even warmed up my voice before, so I try to warm it up a little bit while I'm talking a little bit small talk here and tell about things I'm doing and not doing, and I think I press my voice currently quite too hard. I don't know, I think never in my life have I used my voice as thoroughly as I did since I do Let's Plays. But on the other hand, I should have been accustomed to it by now. My vocal cords should be made out of steel after 3 or 4 years I'm doing this now, but I don't know. Okay. Okay, what happened before? Maybe I should have made a little recap about what happened. Let me get right on that, shall we? Oh, fuck. I accidentally saved over it. Oh, fuck it then. Wait, can I? No, I can't go back. Oh, wait. Maou wandered through the residential district. There was no wind. The air was dry. It was only moments past noon, and from time to time she spotted mothers who had just finished preparing lunch. After turning around at the same corner for the third time, Haru concluded that she wasn't cut out for stakeouts after all. Carrying a convenience store bag just wasn't enough to disguise her as a normal pedestrian. Wearing her uniform in a peaceful residential area during school hours already made her an attention grabber. Forget about her hair. The target of her skate out was the hospital she had now walked past numerous times. Its grand entrance bore the sign Internal Medicine and Neurology. The idea behind the observation came from the hospital issue medication bag she had found the night before in a trash heap near Saijou's house. Inside the torn package was a slip of paper with the medicine's warnings and directions. This told Haru that Saijou had some neurological disease. After finding 3 baggies in the same garbage bag, she inferred that he visits the hospital quite often. It's so cold. The chances might be slim though. She'll be back to square one if he decided to change hospitals. Maou would probably foresee this and command him to do so. Saijou's house was searched, so it would be natural for the two to conclude that Yakuza were lurking near the hospital. Even so, Haru still insists on performing the stakeout alone. She has her reasons. The pill bags were not in the trash heap the day before yesterday. They were nowhere to be found when she had fallen into Maou's trap and determined that Saijou had fled to the Plaza Hotel. And with a whopping 3 of them in total, Haru found it hard to believe that she had simply missed them. In other words, someone left them there after the first search. Oribe and his cronies believed that Saijo would never return to his room, so no men were spared to guard the apartment. Thus, if someone did indeed return, nobody would have known. But that someone was not Saijo. It was Maou. Haru's hypothesis ran like so. Unlike Saijo, Maou had never revealed himself. Why then would he hesitate to come face to face with men from the Yakuza? He could walk right by them and they'd never be the wiser. As for Maou's motive behind planting the medication bags in Saijo's trash, Haru bit into her lip again as the thought forced itself upon her mind. That reminds me, they said, Maou and Saijo basically said that she is to be killed. So maybe this is just another trap to get their hands on her, to silence her for good. The taste of her previous defeat still lingered in her mouth. It was probably some attempt at sparking another game. It's so darn cold. Let's just hope I don't get in trouble for this, Haru thought. It should be okay. I'm over 18 after all. Wait, what? Who's talking currently? That's the narrator, right? The Grand Prix of figure skating finals were slated to begin today. Figure skating fanatic Aizawa Eiichi skipped school to watch the men's match, which starts on the first day. Hey Tsubaki, where's Yusami? I don't think she's here today. Is something the matter? Nah, she just left her cell phone at my apartment yesterday. Oh, really? Why don't you let me handle it? Tsubaki only suggested that because she knew I was likely to miss Yusami due to my skipping. No, it's no big deal. Yusami, you strange girl. What's going on? Last night you said you got a hold of a clue. Are you moving ahead on your own? Oh, that's what happened last time. I think? Maou was right. Saijo sat alone in the backseat of a rented car. He pulled the newly bought curtain open just the slightest bit, carefully took a peek at the hospital outside the car window, and found the girl wandering about as expected. Oh, see? I foretold it before it actually happened. It was another trap, and she really fell for it? Again? Her name was Yusami Haru, a member of the Yakuza, and the girl who claimed to be Fujiwara Norika when they met on the docks. Maou described this girl with ghostly long hair as his greatest obstacle. He had warned Saijo about the outstanding insight hiding behind her dispirited appearance and actions, but Saijo found it hard to believe. She paced back and forth in the residential area with her arms wrapped around herself, probably trying to shield herself from the cold. Saijo ruminated on Maou's advice. Kill her if you get the chance. Yusami will probably be the only one to notice the trap behind the medicine bags. Detectives know to watch the scene of the crime, but the mafia would never discover the truth. They'll just start searching elsewhere after they conclude you won't be returning to their apartment. Maou was absolutely right. Saijou glanced around and no signs of Yakuza were anywhere to be seen. When the time is right, engage her at your own discretion. Remember that Yusami may be leading some thugs. Even if you find Yusami alone, don't forget the possibility of others hiding nearby. Lastly, when you launch your attack, snatch Yusami's phone away from her as a first priority. Oh, she anticipated something like that. That's why she left the phone behind. Separate her from her reinforcements. He would pull Yusami into the car, then find a quiet spot to kill her. Wait, was I supposed to? Oh, damn it, I should have read the line like I read Maou. Maou would take care of the corpse. Okay, now where do I go from here? In the end, Yusami never came to class. I'm probably overthinking this. Still, Yusami didn't seem to be the type to skip school for no reason. And I have no way of contacting her. I know surprisingly little about Yusami. Her address is a mystery, and whether she lives by herself or not isn't really clear either. Just as I was mindlessly staring at Yusami's cell phone, it rang. Who could it be? The number didn't... Oh, it's so loud! At least on my end. It seemed to be one Yusami had saved as a contact. So it's probably not Tsubaki or Canon. Could it be Tokita Yuki? No, judging from Yusami's behavior, there's no way she mustered the courage to make that call yet. So that makes this a friend of Yusami's whom I have no knowledge of. The phone continues to ring. Alright, here goes. I decide to answer it and press the call button. I just keep silent for a moment. Only this moment would go by a lot faster if the caller would introduce herself. She must be calling from some quiet place, as there's no background noise at all. To the point I'm starting to believe she's holding her breath. This must not be a very close friend of hers. But then again, a lot of Yusami's friends are weirdos, so you can never be sure. Dozens of seconds pass, yet we both remain silent. What a deadlock. May I ask who this is? After pausing for a few seconds, the caller responded. This is Yusami Haru's uncle. A man's voice. He sounds like he's in his 30s. This is Yusami's number, right? Yeah, I'm Yusami's friend. She left her cell phone somewhere, so I'm holding on to it for now. She left her cell phone somewhere. If your business is urgent, I can pass a message on to her. What was your name again? Kawashima. I'll call back later. He hung up after he finished. There was something unnatural about that conversation just now, wasn't there? I don't know what to think, no doubt about it. It's probably my imagination. No doubt about it. Right. It's nothing more than a hunch, but the man claimed to be her uncle just now. How many kids nowadays are willing to give their uncle their phone number? I would like to disagree with that, but even I barely have any numbers of my relatives, which is usually a bad idea. You should always have the numbers of your relatives on your phone, just in case you need help and you can't reach your own parents and stuff like that. And especially when you have a huge family, because I am one of those lucky guys who have a huge family. So I could have a stacked phone with a lot of numbers, but I don't know why I never did. It's kinda sad if I think about it right now. The ones that do must be really close with them, right? However, if that was her dear uncle, why would he ask if he had the right number? Why would he call her by her surname? Oh, I haven't even catch that. Of course, there might be some complicated relationship between the two. Even so, that uncle was too cautious to start talking before I did. It was too creepy to be true, even for a relative of Yusami. Oh, that's actually right. The first thing that comes to mind is that the man just now was Saijou. Wait, what? Really? No, he had a different voice. Or maybe he changed it. When Yusami met him in the Western District, she gave him her phone number. Saijou, for some reason, was trying to make contact with Yusami. Why? If Saijou is already on Maou's side, then there's no way he doesn't know Yusami's identity. If he's already clear about Yusami, then what was his intention in calling her? Though I'm still a bit confused, I'd better find Yusami as soon as possible. The reason for it is he's supposed to snatch away her cell phone as the first priority. The problem being, he tried to call her to get her to pick up the phone, so it's easier to snatch it out of her hands. So this could have been in fact been Saijou, and for some reason his voice changed a little. Or he changed his voice on purpose, I don't know. But that could have been the reason why he called her to get the phone, and now he knows the phone is not with her. Which could be bad for her or good for her. I should get in touch with Oribe first though, and make sure they are on standby. ... Yusami didn't have her telephone with her right now. Saijou sneered. A man who seemed to be Yusami's friend picked up the phone. He said that Yusami had dropped her cell phone. Though his silence at first made Saijou suspicious, Yusami just continued walking. There was no indication that she took a phone call. Kill her if you get the chance. He had already driven around the area many times, and there was no one nearby that looked like Yakuza. They never looked like them. Okay, let's do this. Yusami rounded a corner, leaving Saijou's line of sight. Nevertheless, she'd come back again sooner or later. Saijou left the car and hid himself behind the corner. She'd be returning around. Let's catch her off guard, shall we? He leaned against a telephone pole, listening carefully. Tap, tap. The clear sound of footsteps rang in his ears. Saijou reached into his coat pocket. Inside was a spray women use for self-defense against molesters. Once one sprays it in a target's face, he'll tear up and sneeze continuously for a short period of time, ultimately losing the ability to defend himself. Fortunately, there are no passerby in sight. Why don't you just use the chloroform or something like that? Yusami's footsteps grew louder. Because of Mao's trap, her attention should be focused on the hospital entrance right about now. It was her only lead in catching Saijou, so she had no choice but to follow it. The bravery required to face this alone, despite recognizing it as a trap, is worthy of praise. She was approaching. Very soon she'd be turning this way. Saijou held the spray tight in his pocket. Hoping to scare Yusami into a momentary daze, he quickly dashed out from the street corner. And immediately thereafter, he grew as still as a statue. It wasn't Yusami. The fingertip already placed on the spray's trigger froze. However, he was already out of the corner. The slowly approaching footsteps had not come from Yusami, but a passing businessman. Because he had been spying on Yusami from inside the quiet car, he hadn't been able to distinguish those footsteps from those of his target. The man gave Saijou a suspicious glare, then passed him by. Ah, greetings. A shy-toned voice spoke up. Oh, you are done fucked up. A young, hunched-over girl with her hands in her pockets stood before him. Saijou was outraged and stepped straight for the girl. Haven't seen you in a while. We've met before, right? Oh my. He looks like that? I wouldn't have imagined that he would look like that, but that's a nice picture. Oh god, I should not have the mouse always on the pictures. She's not suspicious about the spray? Saijou was not shaken at all. He simply nodded. What you got there, buddy? Some kind of makeup? She was referring to the spray. The girl might be alarmed by it, as she slanted to the side and stared at Saijou without blinking. Saijou returned the spray to his pocket and observed his opponent's actions. Oh, yeah. Did you get the autograph?
Sign?
Autograph? What? What? You don't remember? I wanted Mikhail Jukman's autograph. He's that ballet dancer. You promised you'd get it for me, didn't you? What's she up to this time? He knows he looked puzzled. Could Yusami possibly think he doesn't know of her identity yet?
そんな約束をしたかな、宇佐美。
Oh god, no! You done fucked up! Oh god! Did I promise you, Yusami? And that's the reason he fucked up! She introduced herself as... not as Yusami Haru, but as some famous actor or something. And now he fucked up! He fucked up by saying her real name, despite the fact she never told he never told her, she never told him her name.
Usami?
Excuse me? Yusami? The girl had a vacant look on her face.
自分藤原ですけど。
My name is Fujiwara, she said, tilting her head slightly.
そうつくな。
Stop pretending.
はい？
とぼけても無駄だ。お前は宇佐美春。暴力団の手先だろ。
Playing stupid won't help you anymore. Your name is Yusami Haru, and you are a member of the Yakuza. Saijou used a strong tone. He wanted to shut her up as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, on the shoulder of the road, two housewives had stopped walking and started yakking.
どうしたんですか？学生証見せましょうか？
Is something wrong? I could show you my student ID card if you want. Yusami began to rummage through the pocket of her uniform.
あれ、どこかな？ちょっと待ってくださいね。いっぱい物入れてるから。
Wait, where did it go? Hold on just a second. There's too much stuff in my pocket.
いや、いい。勘違いだった。
No, it's okay. My mistake. Deciding to just play along for now, Saijou reached out and stopped Yusami.
あな なたは探偵さんとかですか？
Are you a detective?
どうしてそう思うんだ？
Why would you think that?
いや、宇佐美って女を探しているのかなと。前やった時もなんか血とか見ましたし。
Well, you were looking for a woman named Yusami, and you were looking at blood the last time I met you.
探しているとしたらなん
And
だ？
what if I was?
はあ、いやまあ自分に協力できることがあればと。
Oh, nothing really. I just thought I could be of some assistance.
では聞きたい。さっきからなぜここら辺をうろついていたんだ？
Then let me ask you something. Why have you been pacing up and down here for so long? Her eyes shot open in a panic.
何のことでしょう？
What are you talking about?
警察に連絡してやってもいいんだぞ。
I could just call the police, you know. Yusami seemed to have given up on resisting as she just answered weakly.
いえ、実はこの近くに私の大好きな人の家がありまして。
Where what? Look, the truth is, the boy I like lives around here.
やっぱりストーカーじゃないか。
So you really are a stalker.
すみません。でもその人のことは本当昔からでして。ええ、携帯の番号はおろか、メルアドすら暗記してます。
I know. I shouldn't do it. I've liked him since like forever. Though, I mean, I still remember his cell phone number and even his mailing address. You really know how to act, Saijo thought. I think her voice goes all over the place currently. I think I just try to go by ear and try to replicate the voice more accurately now. I just try to, I don't know, I try to play around more with my voice currently, and yeah, so sorry if I change the characters too often, but that kind of thing happens, and since I'm not a professional, sadly, I can't keep one voice all the time. But how long should I keep up this farce?
詳しく話を聞きたい。
I want to hear the details. Oh, that sounds creepy if you ask a girl that. Oh, you're stalking him for such a long time. And I'm stalking by the thing the boy I'm in love with since forever. Oh, tell me more about it. 18-year-old versus a 30-year-old, that can sound kinda creepy.
と言いますと？
Wait, what? Wait, what?
事務所まで来てもらおうか。
She looks way too happy in this shot. This doesn't look like she was in distress. This looks like she is happy about him grabbing her arm, and that's weird to me. Shall I have you come to my office? Saijo made use of the situation and spoke as if he were a real detective. He took a look around. The housewives were still standing there, making their ruckus.
いや、知らない人についていってはいけないと習ってまして。
Well, my mom told me not to follow strangers, which is the best advice you ever get from your parents.
なら警察に通報する。
Then I'm calling the police. Suddenly, Yusami's expression showed a complete reversal of mood.
警察に通報されると困るのはあなたじゃないですか、西条さん。
There just stood Angel of Death as the background music. I'd be willing to wager the police would hold more issue with your presence here than mine, Saijo-san.
何？
What? He released her arm right away. Saijou's heart began to quiver before her inquisitional tone and eyes.
魔王はお元気ですか？先日はやってくれましたね。
How's Maou been doing recently? You two really let us have it last time, huh?
何の真似だ、宇佐美春。
What are you trying to pull, Yusami Haru?
もうおしまいですよ。浅井権蔵さんに喧嘩をふっかけた以上、法の裁きも期待しない方がいい。
There's nowhere for you to run. Anyone with the balls to provoke Azai Gonzo had better be ready for things to be settled outside of the law.
大した自信だな。私を捕まえてから言え。
You sound quite confident. Say that again after you have me caught.
あなたはもう終わりです。
You are done for, Saijou. Ridiculous. You are the one about to die. Saijou took another look down the road. The meddling housewives were nowhere to be seen.
どうか今のうちに自首してください。警察に逃げ込むのがあなたが唯一助かる道です。
It's not too late to confess. Run to the cops. It's your only hope for survival.
そんな話をしに一人でのこのこ現れたのか？
You came here all alone just to tell me this?
言っておきますが、私を捕まえようとしても無駄です。誰にも話したことはありませんが、格闘には自信があります。
Let me make myself clear. Don't waste your time trying to capture me. I don't like to make a big deal about it, but I'm actually quite confident when it comes to close combat. She bent her knees slightly as she spoke.
例えば、あなたが今懐に隠し持っているスプレーですが、まず風向きを考えましょう。あなたは風下にいます。この意味がわかりますか？
For instance, let's talk about the spray hidden in your pocket right now. Take a second to think about the wind direction. You are downwind, you know. You know what I'm getting at, right? Saijou fell silent.
さらに、今さら逃げようとしても無駄です。私はこの辺りの地図を頭に叩き込んでいます。あなたのような引きこもりとは違う。
And any escape attempts would be futile by now. I've already burned the nearby geography into my mind. I'm different from your recluses, whatever that word means. A violent aura exuded from her very pore. From her every pore, I mean. Her eyes. A teenage girl would be the last person you'd expect to find them with. Steel cold emotions, slowly explaining the logic behind everything. And that tone, oh that tone. It was like speaking to the mirror image of Maou. Still, Yusami was a fool. She thought his only weapon was the spray. She must have forgotten. A man from the Yakuza lost quite a bit of blood just the day before yesterday. Saijou idly wondered if that man had died yet. He had been stabbed right in the face and fell into a seizure straight away.
わかった。私もこれまでということだな。
Wait, you want to stab her in the face? I see. So I've met my ends. Saijou arranged his breath and tightly gripped the knife in his pocket.
降参ですか？
Can I take that as a surrender?
ああ。
Sure.
結構です。
Then I accept. Though her voice softened, Yusami's gaze showed no sign of letting her guard down. She'd been staring at Saijou's pocket the whole time. But even so, at such a close distance, she had no chance of stopping him. If your eyes met theirs, they should be killed. Mao's words floated to his mind. His hands shook. Though there was no hesitation, it seemed murder was not something he had grown accustomed to. He slightly adjusted the knife's position. Violent heartbeats threatened to tear his chest asunder. The girl's eyes widened slightly. She started to look around as if waking from a dream. Taijou made his decision in the same split second. Now's my chance. Taijou gave his body to the bloodlust. For some reason his murdered sister's face superimposed onto Yusami's. Suddenly the sharp screech of tires shearing the ground pierced his ears, and the hand that held the knife hesitated. Huh? A luxury car, known to be favored by Yakuza, came to a sudden stop and parked behind Taijou. Another parked in front of him. The swarm of vehicles continued to grow until the road had been completely sealed. 3 or 4 huge men, some bald, some with crew cuts, kicked the doors open and jumped out of the cars. What? How on earth?
こんなガキ
There's the son of the bitch! Son of a bitch! Sorry for fucking the lineup!
そこ動くんじゃねえぞ
Don't you fucking move! Taijou, like a deer caught in headlights, failed to give proper resistance. He merely shielded his head and chest with his arms. But how? There's no way. Taijou was forced onto the ground in the blink of an eye, and their fists landed on him like raindrops.
早く逃げるべきでしたね、西条さん。
You should have run when you had the chance, Saijou-san. A sound poured down on him alongside the violence. He thought for a moment that it had been his sister's voice, but that, of course, would be impossible.
なぜだ宇佐美
How? Yusami! Though Saijou had already been pressed to the ground by the strong man, the confusion in his mind still screamed out.
一体どうやってこんなこいつら貴様
When? Why? How did it turn out this way? How'd you summon this gang, you damn bitch? Yusami looked like she didn't know how to answer, then shook her head.
どうやってと言われましても、携帯で連絡を取っただけですわ。
You are asking me how? When all I did was use my cell phone?
携帯
Cell phone?
ははなんで逃げないのかと思ったら、そういうことですか。私が携帯を一つしか持っていないと勘違いしていたんですね。連絡手段がないから、応援なんて呼べるはずがないと。
I was wondering why you didn't try to escape. So that's why. It seems to be a misunderstanding. You thought I only had one cell phone. If I'd lost my only point of contact, then I wouldn't have been able to call for backup.
2つ持っていたんだな
You mean you have two?
ええ、まあ今時の女子学園生は誰でも2つ持っています。というのは嘘で、もう一つの携帯はあなたの飼い主から先月プレゼントされたものですよ。まだ使用できるようなのでメールを打たせてもらいました。
Yes, that's right. All girls nowadays keep two cell phones with them. Alright, fine, that's a lie. The truth is, the other cell phone was a present your owner gave me last month. Since it's still usable, I sent a text message with it. A text message? When? She didn't have the time to spare. Saijou waked brain to the limit, hoping to find out the answer. Well, she put her hands into her pocket, and the phone could have been inside the pocket, and she could just pre-prepare the SMS or whatever, the text message, I mean, and then just press send inside her pocket.
覚醒書を出そうとして ポケットの中を探っていた時だな。
Haha! When you said you were looking for your student ID and you reached into your pocket?
惜しい。
Try again. Oh, I'm not
何
smart. What?
しかしそれでは私は今頃あなたに殺されていたかもしれません。
Well, if that were the case, I'd likely have already fallen victim to your blade.
いつだ。
Then, when was it?
多分あなたがここに来た時です。日が暮れ始めた頃に見慣れない乗用車が停車しているものですから、さりげなく中を覗いてみました。
Probably when you arrived. Around sunset, an unknown car parked nearby, so I just took a little peek inside.
しかしあの車はカーテンがあって外から中の様子は見えないはずだ。
But there were curtains on the car. There's no way you could have seen inside from out here.
ええ、あなたの顔までは見えませんでした。しかし人影くらいは見えました。運転席ではなく後部座席に座っていたのが運の尽きでしたね。
True. Sure enough, I didn't see your face, but I saw a shadow. It was the fact that you decided to sit in the back seat rather than the driver's seat that sealed your fate. It was Maou who advised sitting in the back seat.
後部座席に座れば運転手か誰か人を待っている風を装うことができる。付近の住民や通行人の目もいくらか緩和されます。探偵も使う張り込みの基本ですね。そんな小さな作為が逆に怪しいのです。
Sitting in the back seat allows you to pretend to be waiting for the driver or someone else. And waiting there wouldn't raise the suspicions of any passerby either. It's a stakeout technique that a lot of detectives adopt. That little detail actually made you more suspicious. This girl won up Maou? Taijou finally understood why a man like Maou would be cautious about an everyday schoolgirl like her.
あなたの車は一向に発進する気配がありません。狙いは私なのではないかと思っても不思議はないでしょう。そもそも薬袋の罠から始まったのですから。
Your car showed sign of moving. It's only natural that I conclude I'm its target, right? After all, the whole reason we were having this little get-together was because your master set that little trap with the medication bags.
襲撃すらも予期していたと。
Oh, I knew it. You even predicted the ambush?
こんな住宅地です。あなたが私を襲うとしたら通りの角を曲がった瞬間でしょう。そう思って角を曲がるとき、私は必ず誰かと一緒でした。
In a residential area like this, you were bound to try to ambush me around the corner. You would bide your time and attack me at just the right moment. Taking this into consideration, I always found someone to accompany when I turned a corner. When Taijou thought back on it, he had only had one set of footsteps as he prepared to ambush Yusami. Only the footsteps of the male commuter. Yusami must have been walking quietly, ready for him.
あなたと相対した後は適当なことを喋って時間を稼ぐだけでした。
And during our confrontation, I was just spouting bullshit to buy myself some time. Taijou was stunned. His actions had been seen through from the very beginning. The world around him grew dark. A voice evolved in Taijou's ears as he lay in the lightless pit. Don't, Oni-chan. He gave himself to the concrete, exhausted. The fists of the man around him greeted his face repeatedly. It was a tragic scene. He could only withstand the shower of blows. Blows so tenaciously brutal that it was hard to even imagine the deliverers as human. Wait, you can't mash his face in yet. We need to get info out of him. I'm scared. Don't kill me. A voice echoed in his ears. Don't kill me, Oni-chan.
お疲れ様でした。
Good work. His sister's nostalgic voice was suddenly cut off. Yusami came to my house again late that night.
西条はどうなりました？
What happened to Saijo? He's sitting in hell right now. He's probably been brought to the underground chamber in that building on Central Boulevard for torturing.
自分も西条に聞きたいことがあるのですが。
I have some questions for Saijo too. Can it wait until tomorrow? He's prey that took some considerable effort to catch. I'm sure Oribe's having a field day.
お楽しみ中ってことですか。
So, they are having their fun with him right now? Yusami furrowed her brows. You know, that text message you sent me made me really nervous.
急いで欲しかったので。
I was hoping for you to get there as quickly as possible. Okay, so the choice we made earlier didn't matter at all. If we would have found it suspicious, if we wouldn't have found it suspicious, he would get the text message afterwards. So he wouldn't come to rescue her and wouldn't have thought about it. But with the thing of a text message, they could bring up tension by assuming that if we do the other decision, she could be in trouble. But Sight, the writer said, nope, she just sends a text message after he gets the phone call to resolve that thing, which is kind of weird and kind of cheap, but still, it's a little bit sad that this was actually the trick in making us think that this choice could have mattered. I was hoping for you to get there as quickly as possible. Oh, I already read that. No subject, just the word health and the hospital's name.
ヘルプよりも緊迫感があったでしょ？
Doesn't it look more intense than hell? But it was from an unknown address. How did you know my number anyway? Do you have it registered?
いえいえ、空で言えます。大好きな浅井さんですから。
Oh, I guess he will say something really bad right now after this. No, I typed it in for memory. I mean, come on, you're my dear Azai-san. How disgusting.
話は変わりますが、最近カノンと同棲してんすか？
Let's talk about something else. You've been living with Canon? Yeah?
カノンはどうすか？
What's the situation with her? I think she might have noticed our mess, but she seems to be trying hard not to worry about it.
いえいえ、今日殺されかけた私です。そういうことを聞いているんじゃありません。
Wait, what? No, that wasn't what I was asking. I nearly got killed today, you know? Having that kind of experience really makes you stop to think. Huh?
ここで畳みかけますが、浅井さんは1月1日とかお暇ですか？
I'll go out on a limb here. Azai-san, are you free on January 1st? Go out on a limb with what?
お暇ですか？
Are you free or not? It's like she's not really giving me a choice here. January 1st? That's New Year's Day.
めでたい日ですね。
A day quite worthy of celebration. I'm the son of a Yakuza boss, you know? I can't skip the New Year's events.
ですから、ちょっとだけでよろしいんですがね。
I'd be happy to make do with just a tiny bit of your time. I don't know, that morning, maybe? If we went to the shrine around 4 or 5, it might work out.
決まりですね。
Then it's been decided. Oh yeah, I think I know about this Japanese ritual where you, on New Year, you go to a shrine and put your wish on some kind of a wooden, on a piece of wood, engrave it in it, and then hang it onto the shrine, and you ring the bell, and then you pray for good fortune or something like that. I only know it very roughly, but I saw it a lot of time in different animes by now. Wait, what's decided?
要は私を選べってことです。
The point is, choose me. Oh, for... Just get out of here. What? Choose me for what? To go to the shrine? To put you on the wooden piece? Because I think a lot of boys, and maybe even a lot of girls, wish for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, especially the high schools, at least in the anime. I don't know if it is in real life too. In real life, they probably wish for the waifu to come to life. Oh god, I'm so bad. I'm sorry if I offended anyone by that. In any case, it's so exhausting to speak to bizarre people like her.
では、
Bye. Yusami slowly stepped to the door. She turned back and gave me a look, her long hair swinging happily.
はあ、緊張した。
Wait, what's the point? I don't... Did I get it or did I not get it? Aw, I'm so nervous. Yusami left in satisfied, relieved spirits. What's with that girl? What if... A horrible thought came to my mind. What if she really does have feelings for me? Whoa. Then you are an ungrateful little prick, that's what you are. She has glorious hair and looks really, really beautiful and cute. Why wouldn't you be all over her if she would be real? Well, she's real in your world, but not here, so... No, not a chance. I shook the image out of my head. It's all that pestering she does of me that's got me thinking such things. There's no reason for Yusami to like me in the first place. Cut the crap, brain. It's time for work. Soon enough, Cannon returned.
やっぱ兄さんちはいい匂いがするな。
Phew! I love coming home to smell of your apartment, Nissan. Hey, I brought you a bath.
やったー、兄さん大好き。
Yay! I love you, Nissan. She hugged me tightly all of a sudden. Maybe it was because Yusami had got me thinking weird things, but for the first time in my life, I was conscious of a certain fact. The fact that Cannon was a girl. Oh, you feel the chest pressing onto yours? Her chest, I mean. Luckily, my mind calmed down right away. What am I thinking? She's not blood related to you, she would be legal! And even Gonsu said you should hit that. So, I don't know. As long as I'm following Gonsu, I'll never reach happiness. Because I'll never be able to be by my mother's side, as I have always wished to. Oh, that's actually an admirable thought. I think the only rectifying thing for him is that he actually wants to be on his mother's side because he got separated from her in the past and he just wants to accompany her. Oh! What's going on? Sorry. Okay then. Alright. I'm going to leave this episode right here. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Leave a like if you did. Maybe hit even the subscribe button to become a knight. And I will hopefully see you then in the next episode. Stay tuned.